Bridget, you wrote a book. You showed it to us just now. Surely in that book of yours, there must be some tips and tricks and ways to actually make this real. So we're not just, visualizing myself on a beach, but we're actually practically doing things to uplift myself from the stress and to bring myself internally to a place of peace. Tell us about some of those ways that we can deal with it.
I love what you touched on there, imagination. That is a critical key. So imagination, affirmation. And by the way, one of my tips I was going to give was the I am enough statement, which you made right in the beginning. That's very definitely one of them that I love and I use. I also love to phrase the question, what else is possible? So it's a very open-ended, like even when you are in a bad space, by saying to yourself, what else is possible, it opens up the mind and opens up the subconscious to what else is possible in our environment. So by having that open-ended question and being in a positive frame of mind, these are things that I go into. But I'll give you a couple of other quick tips. Meditation and prayer are wonderful ways of stilling the mind, calming the body. Breathing, a breathing technique. I do in my book, I have 16 different body-based exercises. Several of them are different breathing techniques. Some of them are hand mudra techniques, because when we are stressed, we tend to fidget for a very good reason. Our body's trying to release all the stress chemicals running through there. Yeah. I have so many different exercises. Then I have 50 different lifestyle strategies, as I call them. So prayer, meditation, journaling, gratitude. Sleeping is a very, very powerful one. We don't get enough sleep. Very, very important.
It is said that 90% of crazy is sleeplessness.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It makes you anxious. It makes you depressed. It makes you stressed. So sleeping and good quality sleep. In my book, I describe how to make your room dark, how to switch off any flashing lights, not having a television in your room. That will allow you to go into the deep sleep so that your melatonin, serotonin cycle can improve, and that can help you, because those hormones are very important in balancing your stress hormones as well. Laughter is a great one to bring in your happy endorphins. So if you can, go and watch those ridiculously silly, childish little cat videos, or the little kids giggling and laughing. Anything that can stimulate your laughter is going to stimulate your endorphins, your happy hormones. Yeah. And that is going to replace so we have, when we hug each other and we love each other and we connected with each other, that stimulates oxytocin. And that's the feel-good hormone, which counters the stress hormones. So it helps reduce the stress. Now, with us having to be in lockdown and not with each other, by laughing, that is still going to stimulate the oxytocin. So by laughing a lot, and by at least giving yourself an hour's worth of laughter, and I'll share a little anecdote with you in a moment, but an hour's worth of laughter every day is going to make you feel much happier. It's going to elevate your vibration. So here's something very interesting with laughter. There was a story about a man who was basically sent home to die. He was so ill, and the doctor said, listen, there's nothing else we could do. So you might as well go home and, live out your last few days there and live out your life with your friends and family around you. And he was like, no, I'm not going to accept that. He said he went and took himself off to a motel, and all he did all day was watch funny videos, day after day after day. And he ended up living longer and longer and longer. And eventually he felt so good. He went back to the doctor and he said, please check me. And they were like, you're completely clear. Whatever he had completely healed just from laughing every single day. So this is something that's so simple that we all have access to. If we can laugh a lot more, we will be happier. We'll have more joy in our hearts. We'll have more gratitude, and definitely we'll have more peace. These are the kind of things. And then, of course, eating a proper healthy diet with lots of fresh fruits and veggies, preferably raw, preferably organic, so they're not all those nasty chemicals, GMOs, all of those kind of nefarious things. And then, of course, being in nature, going for walks in the mountains with trees or at the sea, all of that kind of thing is very good. And barefoot. Now, this is something people think I'm crazy.
My producer is literally about to burst out laughing because I think he thinks that you sound like me. But this is absolutely brilliant. Please carry on.
Well, I grew up on a farm, so for me, being barefoot is my best thing. I literally, when I'm at home, I never have my shoes on unless my feet are cold. Then I'll put maybe my slippers on or something like that. But if I can be outdoors, walking in the grass, lying on the grass, being in the sun, vitamin D is, we need to lie in the sun with as little clothing on as possible, because the sun rays, it's that natural pranic energy that we draw from the sun, and we feel so energized by it. So even for myself, in the summertime, I spend like half an hour in the sun every day, midday sun, literally 10, 15 minutes on either side, just to get the sun rays so that it can elevate me, and I feel so strong as a result. It really reduces your stress tremendously. Reduces depression, anxiety, all of those kind of negative things, emotions that people carry.
That is brilliant. I want to start wrapping up a little bit. So please, you've told us so much about the things that you suggest in your book. How do we get a hold of this book? And can you hold it up one more time so we actually see it? Is it in bookstores? Or is it, okay. Please talk about how we get a hold of it. Stress Gone.
Yeah.
And it's quite a thick one. How many pages is that?
There are 360 odd pages in the book. So it is thick, because there's a lot of content in there. So just to sum up what is inside the book, for me, I wrote it in a way that it would be emotional first aid for people, as well as stress relief and healing. So, Lebo, what I'm going to do is, for me, having my books in a bookstore was never a financially viable thing at all. So what I'm going to do for your viewers is they can download my book, and I'm running a special offer at the moment, specifically because of lockdown and the pandemic. And I know so many people are struggling financially and they are in need of emotional first aid. So what I'm doing, and I've got a link for you, which we can give to the listeners, is they can download my book for what I consider pay what your heart feels on a contribution or fair pay basis. So in other words, if somebody can afford my book, normally in this context sells for $380. On my website, I'm selling it in American dollars at, I think it's $37 on my website. People, if they can only afford 100 Rand or 200 Rand or 300 Rand, there is a South African link, and there are my EFT bank details there as well. There's a Snap something or something like that, Snap Scan. They can use that if they have that on their phone. So they can go download the book and get the book by making a small contribution, whatever that. If they want to make me a big contribution, I'll gladly take it. If they whatever they can feel, honestly, Lebo, it's from my heart to their heart. Whatever they feel they can contribute, that is what and that's why I'm putting it on a fair pay basis. So there it is. It's my gift to the world during this time.
Thank you so much for that. Definitely the links will be there, but just for those of us who want it to be verbalized, what is your website address so we can find you on there?
Okay, my website is www.bridget, BRIDGET Edwards, EDWARDS.com.
Fantastic. So I'm going to go and do attempt number 2 to read the comments. Okay, we've got the phone back.
Okay.
Taloshni Govender says, hello, ladies. Hello. She does not have any questions. So, guys, if you've got any questions that you want us to quickly deal with or talk about, we are open to that. And, of course, after this, I mean, you'll have access to actually answer some of the questions and do some interaction as well. So please go ahead and post some of those for us. And then Theo Enichi says, Makes sense. I make that face because the way he typed it, it looks like he would have that face. So these are some of the comments that we've got. It is so important to feel that you are always advancing in life, that you are always sort of moving forward. What's his name, that uncle that says success is the pursuit of a worthy goal? Nothing. Oh, I forget his name every time I want to say it. Never mind. I'm not meant for name dropping, so sorry for that. But it is the pursuit of a worthy goal. And our worthy goal as the Soul Dive is a more fulfilled life, a more connected life, and a life that we are proud to live, happy to live, and proud to create. So, to that end, our lovely guest, Bridget Edwards, do you have something we can add to our toolbox of fulfilled life?
As I started off the talk, self-love, 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 because with self-love comes self-respect, comes self-appreciation, comes self-acceptance. Once you've got all of that in there, and if you can go and download my book, and honestly, Lebo, I'm going to say this, if somebody cannot afford to pay for my book, please download the book for free as a gift of love from me to you, wherever you are in the world, whoever you are. Because in my book, I have so many tips and techniques that can really revolutionize your life, taking you from a place of pain and suffering to seriously to a place of healing, to a place where you can become the greatest human being you were meant to be. So my website that I gave, they will not be able to get the book on that website, the Bridget Edwards website. They need to follow the stress website that I gave you. It's the
link that we're going to put here.
That's the website where they'll be able to download my book.
Fantastic.
And one last word from me, anybody who wants to get a consultation, I do one-on-one online consultations. They're more than welcome to reach out to me and we can have a chat. And if I can help, I will. But every human being is a divine, is part of divine. We are all divine human beings in our own right. We have access to divinity. We have access to creativity. We have access to all of that. And when you embody self-love, everything opens up and changes.
Absolutely. I want to take this moment and thank you for being with us on the Soul Dive today. It means so much to us. We feel so privileged to have, you know, a person of your caliber, having walked the journey yourself and now reaching back and holding other people's hands and being that guide and that sisterly love, that connection. And you know, it's so important, and I want to commend you and just say to you, thank you so much for doing that. I know that you do a lot of work around townships and other things, but we only had so much time, so we didn't cover all of that, but we did Soul Dive. We do know you so much better, and I do hope that everybody else actually got to experience the person I've gotten to experience when I've spent a little bit of time with you. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Lebo, and thank you to all your listeners and viewers. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, Soul Divers, that was Bridget Edwards. If you've just caught us, you've missed out a little bit, but don't worry, this is recorded so you can check it out. Remember, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel where these videos do get uploaded. It is #SoulDiveWithLebo on YouTube, and we'll also post a link to that throughout the week for you. Stress is an acceptable, a normal thing. There's bad stress, there's good stress. One thing for sure, we have a choice in how we handle it. We have a choice in how it affects us. I only have one question. Are you still letting things outside of yourself determine who you are, how you feel, what you do, and mold and change you into the image of itself? Because if you are doing that, my friend, you are missing out on creating a life that you can be proud of. And it is possible. All of us have within us the creative power to make our lives and to invite and open the door of our lives to the things that make us bloom, blossom, and thrive. It's been the Soul Dive. My name is Lebo.